Some interesting trade rumors are going around. Some interesting trades have already happened, both in the football world and the basketball world. One in particular people have an eye on is Damian Lillard and what's going to happen, what's going to be his future. It's actually a big question. He has put in a trade request like 5 to 6 days back. Still, there are speculations, and they're trying to move some pieces, but it will take some time. So let's wait. Let's hold our horses till those moves are made. Some interesting ones from the world of football. I particularly like Mason Mount to Manchester United. That's pretty interesting. We'll talk about the rest when it's time. But today we have three news from the cricketing world that we are going to focus on. So after the game, in which Scotland made a huge splash defeating the host Zimbabwe and knocking them out of the World Cup qualification race, it was clear that, please don't have any preconceived notions in your mind, because things are going to happen the other way. Netherlands actually defeated Scotland. Netherlands actually needed to win with quite a margin because their net run rate was below Scottish team. They had to win with 35 balls to spare. They won with 42 balls to spare. And Netherlands is the final team to actually fill in the roster for the Cricket World Cup. So Sri Lanka and Netherlands qualified from the group of 10 teams that participated in the tournament in Zimbabwe. But who will be the qualifier 1 and qualifier 2? There's a final to happen, so we'll decide that later. It doesn't matter. It's Sri Lanka and it's Netherlands who will be playing in India in the proper Cricket World Cup this year. Now, cricket news number 2. English team finally has a huge advantage in a test. They just wrapped the Australians' innings at 263, which one important thing to notice is Jimmy Anderson was not playing. They brought in some extra pace and bite with Chris Vokes and Mark Wood coming in, and they did make a difference. Both the bowlers were very effective, and that really did make a big difference. And Australians are in the back foot. Now let's see how the Australian bowlers respond, and let's also see, because this is the perfect platform for England to actually showcase baseball, because the total is not big and they will come out and just blaze away to actually get a sizable lead in the first innings. The second innings of the Australians, that is where my eyes are, because I need to see some sensible, good batting from the Australians. Let's see if Steven Smith, we're talking about the Steven Smith under pressure innings, that could be coming in the second innings, because Australians are already under pressure, and Steven Smith, Labuschagne, Warner, Usman Khawaja, they'll have to play longer innings. And yeah, they have time, because it's just almost like half day and one innings is already done for. So we have plenty of time to spare in this Headingley test. Now, cricket news number 3. Team India's T20 score for the West Indies tour is declared. There are a few question marks raised. As always, any team is declared, any squad is declared, there are always a few questions, right? So this time, it's just Akshar Patel, who's a player who can actually contribute with the bat and the ball, the only all-rounder, or let's say the classified all-rounder in the squad. So he picks himself at number 7, I guess. Then followed by 4 bowlers. So there are 7 bowlers in the squad, of which 4 of them will automatically be there in the playing 11. And there are 7 batters in the squad, of which one of them will have to be kept aside. Maybe there are 5 T20s, so all of them will get a chance. But who will start? I mean, it's a long tournament. They'll start over with the test matches, then the ODI. So we have time to see what is going to be the perfect batting or the playing 11 lineup for Team India when it comes to T20. Yes, we are all focused on the one-day Cricket World Cup that's going to happen very soon this year. But after an year, we also have another T20 World Cup. So it has a little importance to see how these youngsters pick in, because many of the main players who will feature in the T20 World Cup next year are rested, including Ravindra Jadeja. And there are players we are waiting to come back. So this is not anywhere remotely close to the team that will be playing next year, but it's a chance for even players like Sanju Samson to try and make a space for himself in the Indian T20 setup.